Hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode. This show has no name, but just FYI, my name is Rosa Alejandra. I am the mirror expert, and I am very excited to do these little interviews because I get to introduce to you my magical friends. I call them magical because they really are magic. They bring you some tools and tips that you probably haven't even heard of before or you have never even tried that could actually help you reduce stress, maybe have a better night's sleep, maybe even get healthier, change your energy, change your mind. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you my good friend, Jen. She is, I hope I don't say it wrong, but she is a dream. You go ahead and do it because I don't know exactly, so I'm sorry, but I'll let her introduce herself. How about that?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jen. I'm known as Jen The Rainmaker. I am a native dream guide. I teach the ancient dreaming manifesting practices of my Chichimeca and Toltec ancestors that have been passed down through the oral tradition for thousands of years.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. See, I couldn't have done that. Jen and I met through a common friend, and we actually had a chat online. And I just love what she does. And I think that is extremely needed, extremely helpful. And she did me and you the honor to come on and give us some of her time to teach us a few techniques. So, what do you want to teach us today, Jen?
Well, I think one of the most important things, usually that we start in the tradition, is setting an intent. And what is it that we want to accomplish? So, for anybody that's watching, I would encourage you to set an intent for what it is that you want to get by watching this and by spending your time, by investing your time really with us today. And typically, when we set an intent, you can write it down, what it is that you want to accomplish. And you can also, one of the things that we do is we'll just close our eyes, and in that space, allowing all of the energy, the thoughts, feelings, actions that we have accumulated throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, to just be released. And what we do is we imagine that there's this huge grounding cord, and we can imagine that it's this waterfall that's coming from the base of our hips, going all the way down into the center of the earth. And the waterfall is representative of being in flow. And for us, with the rain, when we dream of rain, it allows things to grow in a perfect balance and perfect harmony. And so you can also just imagine that that waterfall is also the representation of rain. So allowing things to grow in your life with that perfect amount of harmony, of joy, of balance, allowing you and your life to grow with beauty and to prosper. And then also, one of the things that we do in the tradition is as we're about to drift off to sleep, we think about what it is that we want to create. So, at a very basic level, right, without sort of going into dream planting and all of the teachings, you want to command the movement. So, we're under the universal energy, right? Um, there's this movement that's happening right now. One of the things we work with is called Oline, which means movement. We're constantly in movement. And so it said that either you are commanding the movement or you are commanded by the movement. And what that means is that most people are being commanded by the movement, meaning that they don't set their intent first thing in the morning or before they do something like this, right? So they're constantly like this. There's this analogy of the ship, and we are this sort of ship. So there's that song, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And there's a lot of meaning in that because life is but a dream. It's the dreams that are creating the waking reality. And that boat, the sail of the boat, the mind, is the one that sometimes can be like this in the wind. So we begin to command it. We begin to command our subconscious, the one that is running us. For us, it's energetic body known as the Nahual. Right before you're going to sleep, one of the things that you can do is think about what it is that you want to create in your dream state. Because it said that our dream state has a unit of measure of 52, and our awake state has a unit of measure of 13. Most people try to change their reality in the awake state. They do their affirmations and all of these things in that state. But then when they go to sleep, everything that they've done in the awake state can oftentimes be destroyed by the dreams that they're having. So by you thinking about what it is that you want to create, what is your intent for your dream time, you can write those things down, and you can put that paper underneath your pillow as you're sleeping, allowing those things to be seeped into the subconscious. Then when you wake up, before you really even open your eyes, recall the dream, have the intent to begin to recall your dreams. Think about any messages that you received during that time, and then think about what it is that you want to create for yourself during that day that you're going to have. Command the movement before you even get out of bed, and journal down the dreams that you have had so that you can begin to see the messages that you're receiving as well in that time and in that space. One of the other things that we do is we'll actually get a bowl of water, and we'll put it either underneath our bed, or we will put it beside our bed, or like at the head of the bed. So, as an example, if this table behind me were a bed and I were sleeping and my head was facing this way towards that table, I could put the bowl behind me on that table. And again, it goes back to the power of the water. You can ask for your dreams to be clear, for them to be vivid, but you can also command that water heal you, purify you, that it grow your life or your business with the perfect amount of rain. And you can add flowers to it if you want. The dream world in the flowers, when you dream of flowers, it means that something in your life is going to blossom beautifully, that it could be your business or your relationship or yourself. Again, commanding the movement, setting the intent. What is it that you want to have happen while you are sleeping? Even there are different oils that you use. You can infuse it with oils. Some people, you could put an anointing oil in it, or you could put holy water if that's your choice. You could put essential oils if that means something to you, right? Let's say you're super stressed, so you want to put some lavender so that you can have your dreams bring you to a state of peace, so that in your waking reality of peace, you could do, frankincense and myrrh. There's really no limit to what you can put in there. Allow your intuition to guide you in that process. Herbs, you can put also herbs in there as well. And when you wake up, you can take that bowl of water and you can pour it out at the root of a tree or somewhere out in Mother Earth, and just ask that whatever heavy energy that you had while you were sleeping, that be transformed into something beautiful. And then at night, before you go to sleep again, you can create your dream water, your manifesting water again. And again, setting that intent for what it is that you want to create.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this, especially I'm not gonna wonder because you're here. I'm just gonna ask you. I'm thinking this could help people like me where the chatter in your head never stops. Like at night when everything gets silent is when creatives like me start creating, and then this one creation gives birth to another 12 thoughts, and then each of the 12 gives so it's like a never ending crazy mouse trap. So I'm thinking, like you said, just setting the intention automatically gets you out of that mode, right? And now you're thinking on command. You're not thinking just on autopilot. And I'm just thinking this is going to help a lot of people that have, their mind races at night, like me, like myself, and actually get a good night's rest. But I mean, I'll let us know if that's true. But I mean, as I was hearing you, I got excited.
Yeah. So for that, sometimes it's your analyzer. So my friend Jeanette refers to that as your analyzer. And I used to have that quite a bit. It would just sort of race at night. And so she told me, just turn your analyzer down. So I would imagine there was this knob on the side of my head and I would just like turn it down. Like, okay, it's time to shut off now. But also what happens is a lot of times as we go throughout our day, we say, I need to do this and this and this and this and this, right? I have all these things I need to do. So when you go to sleep, if you haven't done those things, the subconscious is like, hey, you said you had to do this and this and this and this, like what's up? And so what I will say throughout the day is, instead of I need to, I'll say, these are the things I would like to get accomplished. And if I don't, it's okay. I can get them done the next day.
Right.
So also that time when I go to sleep, my subconscious is like, hey, you have all these things to do. But also I'm telling myself, and I have a routine for winding down, a ritual. You know, a lot of times we have these rituals for different things, but we don't have ritual or ceremony when we go to sleep. So one of the things we do in the tradition is we will open up sacred space. And, you know, you could simply do, like, we open up sacred space, we start in the east, we're standing on our bed, or we're in front of it if that doesn't allow. And what we do is we will call to the direction, you know, of the east. And we, again, are commanding what it is that we want to have happen while we are sleeping. And then we'll turn counterclockwise. We'll go to the west, same, calling on that direction of the west. And then turning counterclockwise, calling on the north, and the same thing. Then turning counterclockwise, calling on the south. Turning counterclockwise, calling on the creator. Turning counterclockwise, and this time we'll kneel on the bed, or we would kneel on the floor for Mother Earth. And then we get up and then we turn counterclockwise. But I tell people that even if you're not opening up sacred space, simply saying a prayer to whatever it is that you believe in to come in to protect your physical and your astral body while you're sleeping. And we do the sacred space every 30 days, no more than 30 days. So sometimes we will do it full moon and new moon, but our cadence is no more than 30 days because a lot of heavy energy would have been accumulated during that time. But again, like, we'll ask our ancestors to come to our dreams to heal, right? Because we're healing the bloodline. We'll ask, you know, for us, there are dream warriors. So we ask them to help us, to give us the strength, the willpower, and the discipline to be on our journey, to be doing the things, to heal ourselves, to be creating our lives. We'll call on the energy of the hummingbird, Huitzilopochtli, to help remove any thorns or obstacles on our path, to help us do what some people would think is impossible. And we'll call on the energy of Papalot, which is the butterfly, to help us to transform while we are sleeping. You know, the energy of the flower to help us to blossom. The energy of Quetzalcoatl, which is the energy of enlightenment, to help us to, opening up our spiritual abilities while we're sleeping, taking us to the place of enlightenment. We call on the energy of Toltec, which is the energy of shedding, to shed any heavy energy, emotions. Even we can be shedding excess weight while we're sleeping. Having that happen, right? Especially on full moons, you could be using that energy to help you shed. Because some of us have, so in our tradition, we have a tono malat, which is our astrological chart. And for some of us, we have the natural ability to shed. But for me, in my chart, I do not have any south direction in my chart. I don't naturally have the ability to shed. And so for me, I noticed that, you know, I can put on weight easier, right? And not only that, but emotionally, I noticed that sort of growing up, I was the type to also hold on to a lot of emotions, which, you know, excess weight a lot of times also is excess emotions. So it was, you know, it was very difficult for me to forgive, forgive others, forgive myself. And so realizing that, I realized, okay, I don't have that natural ability in my astrology. So there's things in my waking state I need to be doing to shed. There's practices I need to balance that out. But you can ask for different things to happen while you are sleeping, and you make this like a beautiful process, right? And doing something once a month, And then you close it, you release the directions, thanking them, and you can open up sacred space like right then and there again, immediately. And when you have this process for going to sleep and you create this ritual or this beautiful ceremony around it, each night you can get into this rhythm, right? Because again, we are rhythm people. We were formed under the heartbeat of our mothers. That's why the drum is so healing and significant. When you hear it, you can feel it because it's the thump, the thump. We were born under that. We are naturally rhythm people. And so you want to get into a rhythm for creation, a rhythm for going to sleep. And when you do that, you will notice that your mind will begin to slow down, and also having a process for grounding out the energy from the day, from releasing it, sending other people's energy back to them, even the energy of the computer, of our phones, all of these things. Having this just process that you go through, again, you can just, sit on your bed before you go to sleep, and you can imagine that waterfall again, going down, releasing, being in flow, letting the stuff go and saying, okay, it's my time to go to sleep. And then your mind gets used to that and it says, okay, it's time to go to sleep.
This is pretty awesome. This is really nice. Not to mention you have such a calm voice. I just feel so relaxed right now. I don't know if any of you are experiencing that, but I know I am. So two questions. I'm used to what I know is, when you have the water and, under the bed or at your cabecera, to dump it in and flush it. Is that an option, or you prefer to take it back to Mother Nature? What do you think?
I prefer to take it back to Mother Nature, but I also feel like intuitively, if you feel like it should be, flushed down the toilet, then I feel like intuitively you should do what it feels like resonates most for you, right? Because
Got it.
I do believe in following your spirit, your guidance, right? And so you can think about that, like, today, should I flush this, or should I, pour it out in Mother Earth?
Got it. The other thing that I have heard, now this was just, hearsay, it's to not sleep with your head north or south. Is there something to that? Please tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so I sleep with my head to the east because east is about rejuvenation, but it's also about enlightenment, and it's also about learning your lessons through wisdom and love and grace, and it represents having a clear path.
Hmm.
And south is this direction of the future, what's coming, and it can make things that you want further away because it's always in the future. You never have it. North is the direction of like the land of the dead. And
Right.
so it's, sleeping that way is like taking your dreams and everything there. And so you're constantly stuck in this place of the land of the dead.
So now when we say the directions, we mean your head. It doesn't matter if you're a side sleeper and you're facing east, west. No, it just means the direction of your head, correct?
Yeah. So in other words, I say like, if this wall behind me is east and this chair is my bed, and I go to sleep and I'm like this, my crown, the top of my head is facing the east. So whether I'm on my back or whether I roll over this way or whether I roll over this way, it doesn't matter. My crown faces the east.
Beautiful. I really wanted to know that because I had heard it, and I had heard about, the death, and also that even when people get buried, they get buried in a certain direction because that is the land. So I just thought it was an amazing thing, but I didn't know much about it. Now I'm gonna ask you. This is totally a curveball, and hopefully you can help. As I'm thinking, I'm getting questions. So you recommend the head to the direction of the east. What happens when people are really trying to heal themselves and find these different methodologies, and then they run into feng shui, which tells you your head should be to the west? And is there like, how could we decipher what would be best for us? Would we just rely on our intuition?
I believe that you should. I mean, for me, this, I did do feng shui, and it was different in feng shui, and it did tell me I should face a different way. And what was interesting is that when I was facing that way, I had a lot of health issues. And the tradition said that, you know, when you face that way, you have a lot of health issues. So I just did it for myself. I became my own guinea pig. Well, let me do it for myself, right? And so I noticed that, and we actually have kind of our own feng shui as well in the tradition, you know? And so for me, I have found that it works. For me, I have found that personally, because I've tried many different things, that this is the one that really truly works. And so again, I do say, like, you try it. Don't believe anything I say. Like, don't believe anything I say. Try it for yourself. See what works for you, because you're going to be, you know, everybody could say all these different things, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up seeing for yourself which is the one that works. And I feel like also you're sort of drawn to different things, right? And so there may be a time when you become more drawn to something like this or something else, but try for yourself and see the difference that you have.
Definitely do your research and also be aware of your body, because for example, right now that you said, when when you have your head to the south, it's about the future. And the crazy thing is, I've always said I'm extremely futuristic. I don't know how to stay grounded. I'm always reaching for that is hella far away. And then I changed, actually my bed is changed now, east to west because of feng shui. I actually follow feng shui. But what I noticed is that my anxiety decreased. Like now I'm able to plan and see things in smaller chunks. It doesn't have to be that humongous vision. I can actually say, okay, these 90 days, I'm going to focus on this. This 90 days, and it doesn't feel like, I'm never going to reach that. When I was sleeping like this, and when you mentioned it, I'm like, oh my God, I remember I had a lot more anxiety. I remember I used to get very upset because things were not working my way when I wanted them. So yeah, absolutely, that has changed. But I'm definitely going to try sleeping towards the east, because according to feng shui, for health, my head's supposed to be in a certain way. But I've been doing that for about 3 months and I'm not feeling anything, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a shot. But it's so good to, like I said, my magical friends, they bring you so many different options. They bring you so many different methodologies and even cultures, right? Belief systems that you can try, apply, and see if they work for you or not. The point is for you to have options. The point and to introduce you to things that you've never heard that were available to you. So Jen, I know that you have a Telegram, and I know that you do certain things. Is that something you would like to share with the viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. I have my free Telegram channel, and Telegram is an app that you can download for free, similar to WhatsApp, but basically it's a channel where I'm only broadcasting, so you're not hearing from anybody else. And I share different things that you can do every day to reprogram your subconscious before you go to sleep. Or, I'm talking about the full moon that we just had and some different things that you can do for that. And I'll be sharing different grounding practices or meditation practices, and just a lot of different information. So you can go to Telegram, download the app, find the channel, which is Jen, 1N, The Rainmaker. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. And if you're interested in the program, you can go to dreamyouuniversity.com, and it's dreamyouuniversity.com.
Beautiful. And as you can see, her name is right there on the screen, Jen The Rainmaker, and that's how they find you on Instagram as well, right? Jen The Rainmaker.
Although
Awesome.
I would say my my Instagram is a little hood, so
Hey, this is about authenticity. We care about what you offer and the magic that you bring. So we don't care about anything else, right? And if you do, you're just not the right one for her. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're cool. So thank you, Jen. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I would just like to add that I believe in unlimited possibilities. I definitely believe in that. And I have seen it. I have been a witness to what some people would call miracles in my own life and in my students' life. And I would encourage you, though, that no matter where you are on your journey, that whatever is said in this session, that it has helped clear the path, remove any thorns or obstacles, provided some clarity, provided you with some tools that are going to help you to accomplish those things. Because in our breath, when we speak, that is medicine. And one of my intent is that as I speak, that it is clearing the path for anybody that is watching this, but also that it's reminding you the truth of who you are, the unlimited one, that it reminds you that anything is possible, anything that you desire, but to keep going, to keep using the tools, and to make becoming the best version of yourself a lifestyle, not something that you're trying to just, the South, right? Like always trying to attain. Because sometimes when we do that, we leave our energy in the future. And then when we think about the past, we leave energy in the past.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is we want to pull that energy from the past, and we pull that energy from the future, and we bring it into the present moment to be able to create. And so just being thankful and grateful for what it is that we have, knowing that whatever our desires, that we can have that it is possible for us. And of course, as I always say, may you and all of your dreams blossom with beauty. Tlaxcomati, which means thank you. Ometeot, which means the two forces that join to create. Thank you, Rosa, for having me.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Jen, for giving us your time and your space to do this for everybody that's watching, and even for myself, because I learn every time I talk to one of my friends, I learn so much. And that is what I love about these women. These are not women that are just talking for their health. I mean, they have gifts that they can give you. This is amazing. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Jen, for your time. Again, my name is Rosa Alejandra. You can find me at The Mirror Expert on Instagram or Facebook. And if you would like, a little guide on how to awaken the badass within, go to rosalejandra.online, and now you have a few resources at your hands. It's up to you to take advantage of them. Thank you, Jen, again. Everybody else, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.